Utah has a very rich history as to its origin and autochthonous status. I didn't say autonomous, I said autochthonous. During the Aidu in the Benin Empire, as a result of punitive measures meted out to people in the empire by the then Oba of Benin, people were escaping, so our people decided to escape too, to avoid this hegemony of the empire. Because at that time, all the provinces were headed by the princes of Benin. And you had to pay, what do you call it, to the vassal state had to pay tributes to the empire every year. And heavy fines and levies were put on people. So people started running away, and our forefathers decided to move towards the east, because there was no way that you could go towards the west. We moved towards the east, and finally we settled in this place about 1600. Since then, Buddha has remained here as the western flank of eastern Nigeria in this area. And during the creation of states, we were first in East Central State, then finally we became part of Imo State, the larger Imo and the current Imo State. Here we are today. Uhuta since then has had unbroken monarchical system.
There's this joke we used to crack among our friends to those who doesn't understand English language. You hear us say, English chomo also, onye solo ya mamola. Yes, that's why you hear me saying English now your mate, because 98% of the time, we don't understand the English words and we run up and down using it wrongly. The English phrase said, if things are not properly defined, if words are not properly defined, abuse is inevitable. 99% of Nigerians will always use the word empire, Benin Empire. And I keep saying that you have a Benin Empire does not necessarily mean that you own everybody. Just like I've been saying it, that migration does not mean origin. That we migrated from Benin does not mean that we are originally Benin people. Look at the definition of empire there. Look at the definition of the word empire. A territory with different states but ruled by a supreme leader or a supreme ruler, whatever you want to call it. That we come together and somebody is governing us does not mean that we coming together are of the same origin. Did you hear what he said in that video? That they have to move to east. There is no way they could have gone to the west. What is that telling you? I said in one of my videos, why do the people who ran away, all of them who ran away from Benin, we are running towards the east? Why didn't they run towards the west? Why did they all that are saying we are descendants of Benin are running towards the east? None of them ran towards the west. Why? Because all of you are Igbos. It's because all of you are Igbo, you are running back home. Why didn't they run, go to the west? You heard that statement. There is no how we could have run to the west. They all ran. The Ekpeye, the Ikweres, the Ogbas, the Ainwani, my people, the Onchubo, there's a Chimes. They all ran towards the east. Why didn't they run towards the west? Have you heard anybody saying from Yoruba land that they ran away from there? The truth is that this is who we are. We are all running back home. Imagine say Oguta today is in South. We wouldn't have known that they are Igbos. Tomorrow night you come and tell me say, they are Benin. It's because they marry Igbo people. Which Igbo people, our people always they marry where they change our language? Ikwere will say the same thing. Eka will say the same thing. Ukwan will say the same thing. Anyone will say the same thing. Ekpe will say the same thing. Ogba will say the same thing. Who can be the Igbo people where would they marry? Meanwhile, Benin claim to own all those places. Oh, Enugu Ezike, Oguta, Onitsha. Which one in the east now can be the real Igbo where our men married that change the language? That we are doing business with that change our language. So you are saying that it's only in Suka, or you are saying it's only in Ngwa people or Arochukwu people that influence the entire people that ran away from Benin to change their language. But empire does not necessarily mean origin. Migration does not necessarily mean origin. That you migrated from somewhere does not mean that you are originally from that place or you are related to the people in that area. This is English, no be your mate. You cannot sit down and ask questions. You cannot sit down and study. And I keep saying it, just 16th century ago here, that they migrated. But they are all speaking Igbo, bearing Igbo name, doing Igbo culture. Even the original name Oguta is Igbo. They didn't bear Yoruba, they didn't bear Bini, they didn't bear Saro. This is what we are talking about. Until we come to understand that none of us has anything to do with Benin. They went there because that's the first city. Just like everyone that has gone to Lagos and settled, maybe something happened, we'll start going back home. You'll not be saying all of us are descendants of Lagos. I'm out of here, Joe.